Hey everybody, I just want to say first of all, thank you so much if you were one of the ones who's watching this video and who helped us out with our t-shirt fundraiser. It means the world to us, me and everyone else at Free Slave. We were able to pay part 1 in full and going into part 2 of what is going to take to become an official 501c3. Also, our website will be up by the 21st. We're just doing a few little touch-ups here and there, so it is on its way to be phenomenal. I'm really excited about what God is doing. Let's talk. So I got a new job. Yeah, it's part-time. Like, I'm still with my normal job, but I got this new part-time job. They will call me when they need me type basis, and it's good. Well, I say I got a new job that, like, they're still going through the paperwork, which is funny, but like they've already told me as soon as all that goes through, they want me, like I'm hired basically. And like I said, it's a lot of fun. However, it's something that I didn't think I would be doing again, at least on the scale that this company does it. I've done it in the past. I love doing it. It's something that I'm good at. It's something that just clicks, I guess. But it's if you were to ask me when I did it last if I would be doing it on this scale or even at all again, I would probably have said no. Just because there's so much that goes into it. I'm trying not to explain too much about like what it is, because I don't want to like jinx anything. But yeah, it's the scale, the professional scale into which they do it. Like, here's where I was in the past, and like the professional scale where they do it's like way up here. It's like way up here. It's fun, and I love it. Now, it is working some muscles that I haven't worked in a long time. I'm not complaining. I just didn't think I'd be doing it on this scale, like I said, or even at all. And on the flip side, I got a call a few days ago from a friend of mine, and he said, "Hey," he said, "my dad is starting a YouTube channel, and he needs some help." And I'm looking like, are you asking the right guy? Because they know I have a YouTube channel, but like right now there's only like 8 subscribers, which I love every single one of y'all. And if you're a normal and you haven't subscribed, please hit that subscribe button below. However, here I am with just starting out, not a whole lot of subscribers, not a whole lot of stuff, but they've seen some of the videos and some of the work I've done in the past, and they reached out and they were like, "Hey, we need some help." And so I was like, "Yeah, sure." And if you know me, I get too excited too quickly, too easily. If it's something that sounds halfway amusing, I'm all over it. I jump on it like I jump on a cheeseburger. like I said, it's something that I do. I'm head first a lot, whether good or bad. I'm head first in most of the ideas that pop up into this thick skull of mine. As me and my friend were talking, he said, the reason why we thought of you is because you have a gift for these things. He said you're gifted with media. You're gifted with that eye, and that's in a way that not a whole lot of people are. And admittedly, media isn't necessarily like my favorite subject. It's not where I see myself. It's not where I want to retire. But I will admit that I'm confident in it. I'm confident in media. And he says that it is a gift, and I would have to agree. I would have to agree, and that's not me being cocky or arrogant or whatever. It's, I know I'm good at media. I know that I'm good at what I do, and I'm not the best, but I continue to learn, and I learn quickly in regards to that stuff. We all have that one thing that just kind of clicks. It just clicks, and that's all I know how to explain it. When God puts a gift, when God gives us a spiritual gift, I feel like a lot of times it's the same way. That when God gives us a spiritual gift, it will just kind of click, and we won't be the best at it. We won't wake up the next day and know everything there is to know about it, but it'll come naturally, or start to come naturally to us. And a lot of times that is in a field that we don't necessarily like. Growing up, I hated writing. But some of my friends and family said here recently that when I write a long post on Facebook or a blog or whatever you want to call it, they enjoy it. And there's been many who say, Jackson, you have a gift with words. And I'm sitting there like, you must have the wrong Jackson, because Jackson does not do word well. Jackson words wrong. Jackson can hardly word himself sometimes. It's he stutters a lot. Like it's Jackson doesn't do words, but they strongly disagree. Now, as I was thinking about that, Romans chapter 12 popped into my head. And in the beginning of this chapter, now one thing that we have to remember is Paul writing this letter to the church in Rome. There's no chapters, there's no verses, it's just a letter. Right? So he starts in chapter 12, he says, "Therefore, I urge you, brothers and sisters, in view of God's mercy, to offer your bodies as a living sacrifice, holy and pleasing to God. This is your true and proper worship. Do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind, so then you will be able to test and approve what God's will is, his good, pleasing, and perfect will." So he talks originally about being a living sacrifice, which that's like 4 different videos tied up in one. But that's not where I'm going with this. So he talks about sacrificing yourself to God, to his will. And he turns around and he says, "For by grace given to me, I say to every one of you, do not think of yourself more highly than you ought, but rather think of yourself with sober judgment in accordance with the faith God has distributed to each of you. For just as each of us has one body with many members, and these members do not all have the same function. Pay attention to this. He said, going back to verse 4, for just as each of us has one body with many members, and these members do not have the same function, meaning your eyes don't smell, your nose can't see, your mouth can't hear. Each part of our body has a different function. It's a different purpose. There's a different use for it, right? And that's the same thing that Paul's saying. For just as each of us has one body with many members, and these members do not all have the same function, so in Christ we, though many, form one body, and each member, saying each one of us, belongs to all the others. Here's where my point is. In verse 6, we have different gifts according to the grace given to each of us. If your gift is prophesying, then prophesy in accordance with your faith. If it is serving, then serve. If it is teaching, then teach. If it is to encourage, then give encouragement. If it is giving, then give generously. If it is to lead, do it diligently. If it is to show mercy, do so cheerfully. And then he goes into verse 9, love must be sincere. Hate what is evil. Cling to what is good. Be devoted to one another in love. What I think is amazing is how Paul sits here and says, Christ's body, like we're each a different member of Christ's body, and your gift is not going to be the same as somebody else's gift. We each have our own gifts, but we also have an obligation to live it out. He says, if your gift is to teach, then teach, and teach with passion, and teach with fire. He says, if your gift is to give, if you have a giving heart, a giving spirit, then give, and give with all of your heart, and give generously and joyfully. If it's to show mercy, then show mercy like nobody else. Use your gift for the advancement of the kingdom. With everything that you are and everything that you have, if you have a gift, use it. He says, if your gift is prophesying, then prophesy. I'm not sitting here being the one to say, oh no, your gift is this or your gift is that. Pray about what your gift is. And whatever it is, like for me, I have a gift with media ministry, and I know that it's not necessarily my favorite thing to do. It's not necessarily the funnest, but I understand that. And so when it comes time for me to deal with media, I do so with a happy heart and a willing heart, knowing that I am serving God through media. And that's not necessarily with the videos. That's a lot of times that's backstage, doing lights, doing presentations, doing pro presenter, doing all the backstage stuff. I think it's important that we remember that you have a gift, and it's a God-given gift, and He gave that gift to you for a reason. It would be such a shame for your gift to go to waste. Whatever your gift is, I encourage you to use it, and do so with a happy heart and a cheerful heart. With everything that you are and with everything that you have. And if you do that, I firmly believe that joy will flood your life like nothing else. Go in peace. And remember, God is always there. All you have to do is listen. I love y'all. Hey everybody, thank you so much for watching my video. Please go and like it, as well as subscribe to my channel and hit that notification bell for more videos every Wednesday. Love y'all.